Canada, this is Matthew Green, your very proud MDP candidate right here in Hamilton Center for another Parliament to the People. This is a campaign update. We are live streaming across multiple platforms. Shout out to everybody who's able to tune in. We're going to be going on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. We're going to be there. We're going to meet people where they're at. It's the end of the night. We have had a big day in the campaign office. A huge shout out to all the labor folks who were able to come out and go door to door, street to street, neighborhood to neighborhood. We see you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support today. We had a great night on the doors, and it's going to continue. We are just getting started. We can definitely feel the momentum picking up, lots of volunteers coming in, and I think people are ready to engage in this discussion. So that's where we're all in. We're absolutely all in on this campaign with an incredible team, lots of incredible organizers putting in the work, making sure that folks are doing what we can here in Hamilton Center to make this thing work. So if you're tuning in, feel free to join the discussion. No one's ever there to answer the phones. What's the difference? Zach Mack. At the campaign, you could come on in. You could leave a message. We're happy to get back to you. Zach Mack 97. Not a problem whatsoever. We're all systems go. We still have our office going. We're still running a full service office in Hamilton. All the time, people are coming in. We deal with hundreds of constituents a day, or sorry, a week, and it's for real. Yeah, we're putting in big work. So we do appreciate the people that are able to, to come on out and volunteer. We appreciate our staff who's working tirelessly in our office to try to take care of people. And Zach says he's tried calling the constituency office. Okay, well, DM me your phone number and I'll give you a call tomorrow. How about that, Zach? Sorry, that's been the case. But we're happy to pull your number and find out how that is and why that is the case. But in the meantime, drop me a DM right here on Instagram, and I'll personally follow up with you tomorrow. Shout out to people who are tuning in on YouTube. We got our first YouTube comments, Reardon's and Milton. But we would love to have you volunteer with us. I'm going to go ahead and put that website in the chat. But basically, anywhere you are in the country, you're actually able to come and volunteer with us virtually through Call Hub. We're going to be doing some really good programming on Call Hub that's going to get virtual phone banks going, and we would love for you to be a part of that. I'm going to tune into TikTok and see what's happening there as well. Again, a lot of this is hello, everyone. Got the elbows up. Someone's calling it out there on TikTok. We had some really good engagement yesterday on TikTok. So we're going to keep that up. These digital door knocks is just an opportunity to meet people where you're at. Clearly, at this time at night, I wouldn't be knocking on your door, but if you're online and I can chat with you there, I'm happy to do that. Certainly happy to do that. So shout out to you if you're logging on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you're at. We appreciate you. I know that the last time there was also lots of discussion on a Facebook page that I didn't quite have feeding into the main chat. So if you're on the Matthew Green NDP Facebook page, shout out to you for tuning in. If you're tuning in on Instagram, shout out to you. And same on TikTok. We're going to keep it rolling. So today's big labor canvas saw dozens of volunteers hitting the streets, going door to door, street to street, neighborhood to neighborhood, and we're deeply grateful. Next up for us is going to be our official campaign launch. We have 3 steps to the way we organize. We do it in 3 ways. The first step is always to socialize. We want to bring people in. We want to have fun. We want people to feel like they belong in our campaigns, in our campaign office. We want them to enjoy themselves. Politics doesn't have to be miserable, y'all. We can actually have some fun getting to know people, building communities, you know, relationships one at a time. All of that stuff can happen. So if you're online and you have a question, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok, feel free to go ahead and put it in the comment section, and we will do our best to answer your questions. I saw Avi has a question. The NDP promised to double the disability tax rates. Will the benefit depend on having a disability tax credit? No, it should depend, in my opinion, like when we watched this roll out the first time to the exclusion of so many people. I believe that if you qualify for disability supports in your province, that should automatically qualify you. It shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't have to be this kind of means testing that the Liberals love to do. So thanks for the grace, Zach Mack. I do apologize that for whatever reason nobody got back to you, but we're going to take care of that ASAP. It's part of why this is good. You know, getting on Parliament to the People allows folks to have that direct contact and make sure that, you know, whatever issues you're facing, you're not facing it alone. That's the first and foremost. Let's see what's going on with TikTok. We got more people logging on. The question is, why don't join your party with the NDP? I am the NDP. I am a New Democrat, a very proud one. Mason writes, would I put my name in the hat for the next NDP leader? Should that be a scenario? I don't really have those ambitions, to be honest with you. Like, I feel our work is doing this organizing stuff, and I feel like leadership is not that sometimes. And so what I'm going to be demanding out of leadership in the next leadership race is for a return to grassroots democracy within our party, to distribute democracy within our party, and you know, to ensure that members have a strong say in the direction, and it shouldn't just be a small cadre of people. And that's kind of what I'm aiming for. Yo, a lot of conservatives are still talking about this Century Initiative. I'm not clear what is going on online with this Century Initiative. I only heard about it this week. These plans of like 100 million people or something crazy like that. Like, you know, we need to have real conversations around being able to take care of all of the social pressures and demands that we have. We need to have an economy that doesn't undermine the labor force. And I feel like the people who talk about having 100 million people in Canada, they have this capitalist mindset that infinite growth and infinite productivity is good for people, when in fact it's not. And sometimes not having infinite growth or not having infinite productivity and profits is actually the right, logical, and sustainable thing to do. And so we need to have sustainable growth targets. Those targets should include planning with organized labor. In other words, if you're coming to Canada and you're good enough to work here, you should be good enough to get paid union wages, work in a union, and have equal benefits and rights and privileges. Because what's happening is when we bring in temporary foreign workers to undermine the existing labor market, it drives wages down, and driving wages down in this economy is political violence because people have less money to be able to take care of themselves. So the question from YouTube, and shout out to you for tuning in from YouTube. Reardon, you might be my first YouTube commenter. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube at all. So the transition to a cooperative economy, as you know, it's a special place in my heart. I do believe that those who create the wealth should keep it. If I have to say this every single time I jump on these live streams, I'm going to say it, that the economy we have right now, the zero-sum game, right? Hyper competition, winner takes all. I win, you lose. That doesn't work for people. And it doesn't have to be that way. And it shouldn't be the people who simply have stocks are the ones who profit when they don't actually create the wealth. That's what's got me fired up. I'm going to go over to TikTok and see what people are saying over there. Shout out to Killer Kazaa, who says that his gram lives in the riding. Shout out to your grams, Killer Kazaa. on TikTok. Tell your Grams that Matthew Green, the NDP candidate, says what's up, and send her this TikTok and tell her that she's officially our campaign Grams. Love it. So, what else do we got on the questions? If you are online right now and you want to ask a question, feel free to do so. I'm going to check out Instagram. We got some questions here. How do you respond to union members and their leaders endorsing the Tories? Concerning as a union member myself. It's not new for the building trades to, court conservative power, particularly when it comes to developer friendly building trades. We look at Doug Ford, those that allow for government intervention that benefits their membership. It's a cynical thing to do. And sometimes it's the case that local affiliates who are conservative in nature ideologically will support Pierre Poilievre. But let's make one thing clear. You won't find a bigger union buster, anti-worker candidate in this election than Pierre Poilievre. He's made a career out of it. And if you want to cut your nose to spite your face, you want to join the leopard ate my face party, like, I don't know what to tell you. That contradiction should be clear for anybody who's paying attention, that who Pierre is, who he says he is. He's the one who wants to change the RAND formula. He's the one who wants to create these disclosures to show the corporate bosses what unions have in their banks to be able to fight strikes, right? He did all of these things. He's legislated people back to work. He's done all these things, all of them. Chris is talking about Reddit. You know what? I need to do an AMA on Reddit. Does Reddit do live streams? I wish I could add Reddit to the live streams and just post these live streams right to it. That would be dope. If you're in town and you're in the area, I would love for you to consider joining us at our campaign launch, which is going to be this Saturday, March 29th at 1 p.m. at a badass punk rock bar, which is just a couple doors down from our campaign. It's called Vertigogo. We're going to get together and we're going to do three things. We're going to do what? We're going to socialize. Why? Get to know your neighbors. You want to talk about community safety? I want to talk about getting to know your neighbors. The better and tighter our communities are, our neighborhoods are, the safer we are. I believe that to be true. I believe that we keep us safe. Then we're going to organize. So we're going to have some fun, some music, some food. We're going to socialize, get to know people, right? And then we're going to organize. And in that organizing, we're going to train people up. And then we're going to mobilize. We're going to do a big barnstorm across the riding. We're going to put 100 people out on the doors. We're going to get lawn signs. We're going to get new volunteers. We're going to have people get engaged right now. You don't have to feel like you don't have a choice. You don't have to feel like politics aren't for you. Reardon says he can edit this into a video for Reddit. Oh, I love that. I'm new to all this. Admittedly, like I started with Restream back in COVID and then I got away from it. But I never really did all the platforms. Like I really wish I had spent more time on YouTube, quite frankly. I wish I had. I took a lot of time off of TikTok. Shout out to everybody who's back on TikTok, because I was worried about the foreign interference stuff and I was listening to the experts. And so there it is. There it is. I appreciate you, Jordan, for ordering your lawn sign. Jordan on TikTok, shout out to you. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. You know what else would be great? Is if you had some time, we would love to bring you into our campaign. We absolutely would. You can see the ticker at the bottom where it says visit matthewgreen.ca. If you have time, no matter where you are, you don't have to be in Hamilton. You don't even have to be in Ontario. If you're tuning into this and you're vibing with what we're putting down in Hamilton Center and you want to jump on the phones for us, we're going to be doing virtual town hall phone banks in the coming weeks. Likely early next week, we're going to be doing that. We definitely allow volunteers from high school. Nikki, we would love to have you, Nikki, on TikTok. All you have to do is go ahead, visit that link, matthewgreen.ca, fill out the volunteer form, come on in. You can use it for your hours. We would absolutely love to have you. Absolutely. I'm going to go back to Instagram and see what people are saying. Check out Reddit. Oh, we went that one already. Join it and do an AMA. All right, bet. Let's do that. Just be careful with the group chats on Signal. Yeah. I pieced out of Twitter when Elon took over. I had to deactivate that shit because he's a fascist and I just couldn't be there anymore. Couldn't ethically myself justify supporting that platform when you got a neo-Nazi who owns it. Not going to happen. We don't support neo-Nazis in Hamilton. We fight them. Metaphorically, of course. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about actually fighting skinheads. No, I would never talk about that. So, folks that are on TikTok, feel free to put comments in there. I've done messed up the comment section. The other thing that's cool about this platform is that I can invite you to join the discussion. You can actually join. We had some people do that. Mike! Yo, Mike from Hamilton Tenants Unity. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you engaging, man. I appreciate you engaging. I'm going to put a link in and I'm going to wait maybe 10 minutes. And if there is somebody who wants to jump online, right, and have the discussion, you're welcome to do that. So I'm going to put it in the Instagram chat. Let's do that. Post it. I'm going to put it in the TikTok chat. Let's do that. This is like political roulette. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put it in the other group chat with Facebook and YouTube. If you're online right now and you want to engage one-on-one, here's your chance. I know that not everybody has the time and privilege to, go to Ottawa, follow the committees, follow the debates. If you have questions, what I can commit to you is that I will answer your questions as candidly as I can. And it is okay if we disagree. It is okay if you don't believe in the things I believe in. It is okay if we don't have the same politics. If you want to have a discussion, I'm inviting you to join the stream, provided the condition, your arguments aren't used to dehumanize people. In other words, we can disagree on policy, but I'll never disagree on someone's humanity. And if you do that, then we're done. We're not having that discussion. I don't debate people's right to exist. I don't debate people's right to have rights. Those are non-debatable things. Everything else, let's talk about it. So there it is. Free speech. A brave man. I'm going through here. You okay? You got it in there? Can I differentiate my leftist values from the NDP? That's a good question from TikTok. A fundamental question in organizing in social movements, political parties, is the following. Who constitutes the party? That's the first question. There's a big disagreement on this. There are some people, maybe over the last couple of decades, who have shifted their understanding of what the party is to mean the personification of the leader. So in other words, the leader becomes the party. The leader is the personification of the party. I reject that notion. I don't believe the leader or the leadership team is the party. They're the leadership of the party, but they're not the party. The party is the membership. And I believe that the vast majority of New Democrats, whether they're self-proclaimed leftists, socialists, democratic socialists, social democrats, you name it, whatever sectarian, progressive, labor folks, whatever. I believe that at its core value, those are aspirational people who want to see a country and a government that'll take care of people. I think that we would agree on 75 to 80% of most policy. I would hope that we would have a culture within our party where even when we disagree, that's okay. We're still comrades and it's okay. Provided what? Provided our disagreement isn't rooted in the dehumanization of people. As soon as that becomes an issue, then we are no longer in solidarity with principles. at all. And so, leaders, they come and they go. Thomas Mulcair was the leader of our party, and just this week was in the news shitting all over us. Is Thomas Mulcair a New Democrat? No, Thomas Mulcair is not a New Democrat. Is not a lifetime membership. Do you have solidarity with basic principles that align with a social democracy or a democratic socialism? If yes, you could be a New Democrat. If you veer so far to the center that you find yourself on the right, then you are no longer a New Democrat, including if you're a leader. And I think the faster we get away from the cult of personality in this country, the better. I think the faster we can distribute democracy into the hands of working class people to make local decisions based on the local interests of the community, the better. I think the more people involved in our democracy, the better. The more people that not just vote, but actually engage in democracy. Shout out to all the volunteers during elections, but not just during elections, in between elections on social issues, the better. I don't believe in the consumerization of our democracy, that you are shopping for votes, looking for the perfect match, and then have a transaction, purchase an ideal of a candidate and then vote for them. Like, no, our relationships intuitively are going to be messy. That happens. So I don't spend a lot of time trying to differentiate myself from the NDP, because I am the NDP. And if you decide you want to engage in the party, you too are the NDP. That is how social movements work. The same problem happens in unions, by the way. Union busting bosses spend millions of dollars to drive a wedge in the solidarity of the working class when they try to organize, by doing a tactic called third partying the union. What does that mean? Is they try to divorce workers from the democratic element of their organization, which is their union, to make it sound like it's something being done to them. Oh, the union this, the union that. No, it's your union. You are the union. And in the same way I say don't third party your union, I'm saying don't third party the party. Join it, become a member, have issues with it, critique it, fight to change it. All those things are possible within a social democracy. Oh, you got me fired up. Sass Farm's got opinions about the 28th. Guess what, Sass Farm? I'm not worried about you, my friend. I'm not worried about you at all. In a democracy, the people are always right. It is what it is. We're in a situation right now where people are making all types of presuppositions 3 days into a campaign, my guy. That's ridiculous. You want to know why? Because prior to an election, conservatives and liberals can spend as much money as they want. Godless amounts of money has been spent by Pierre Poilievre, axe the tax, build the homes, Canada's shit. He spent so much money talking about how messed up and broken our country is. And how much money has he wasted? Now he's trying to drape himself in the flag and reinvent the wheel like he's a patriot when he's a conservative cock. Straight up. Put that on Reddit. So now that we're in an election, there's spending limits. And with the spending limits, it means there's going to be parity in the way in which we're able to communicate. Things will change. So don't think that this is going to be static. Things will definitely change. Oh, you guys got me fired up. So, given the fact that we are now almost a half hour in and it is late, I'm going to jump off before I say something I can't take back because you got me all fired up. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that deep. I'm going to go home and get some rest because tomorrow we're going to wake up early and we're going to outwork everybody. That's the secret sauce in Hamilton Center. That's how we win. That's how we always win, is we outwork liberals and conservatives day in and day out. When I knock on a door and I talk to somebody and I ask them, has anybody been at your door yet? 9 times out of 10, they say no. And then you know what I tell them? Regardless of whether you're conservative, liberal, or Democrat, when they come to your door, let them know that I was here first. I'm outworking them and I have more people on the doors. Let them know that. I want them to know. I want them to know. To the conservative running here, whatever your name is, the liberal, whatever your name is, coming from Mississauga, St. Catharines, when you come to visit this city for the next couple of weeks, you're going to know when you hit the doors that we're working harder than you, because there's not going to be a person in this election that's going to work harder than the people in our office right here in this campaign. So if you want to be one of those people, go ahead, sign up at matthewgreen.ca. Come on into our office. If you're in high school, feel free to bring your friends, right? Feel free to bring your friends, bring them in, and let's have a good time. Politics does not have to be miserable. Clearly, you can see I don't take myself so seriously that we can't engage in these discussions. Um, my apologies if I didn't get to all the questions. Chris, I'm going to answer your question. You talked about the NDP being a pro-gun party. I would say this: the culture war around the guns that liberals and conservatives love to bring out to drive a wedge between rural and urban, between people who use guns as tools, to the sport hunters, to the people who use it for target shooting. All that stuff is a liberal and conservative culture war. If you actually followed the debate on what was happening on the gun conversation, you would find Alistair McGregor was phenomenal. My man's from BC. We have people in the north, rural. We got Charlie, Carol, Taylor Backrack and others in the north, Lori Idlout in Nunavut, Nikki Ashton, people who understand that issue. And we offered nuance to that issue. So, what does it say here? Love it. Under no pretext. Thank you so much to the people on TikTok who have been logging on and engaging in the discussion there. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I do apologize if I didn't get to all the questions. I am going to jump off this live stream, but I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. So what I do, come in, I drop my son off at school. It's the best part of my day. Drop my son off, have that moment with him in the morning, come to the office, between 8:45, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, things are kind of slow. So I jump on Parliament to the People. So if you're up in the morning and you see it, I'm going to be doing this. And then we work all day from 9 till 9 at night. And then right at the end of the day, I jump back on. It's a digital door knock. It allows me to contact people who might live in the area that I might not get to. It allows me to contact people who might want to volunteer, whether in person or in their own homes. And it also allows me to hear from liberals, conservatives, communists, Green Party people. I want to hear your perspectives. I want to hear your arguments. Your arguments, as long as it's not just completely dismissive or vitriolic, but if you actually have something substantive to say, I'm going to listen and I'm going to contemplate it and I'm going to have to formulate a response. So you're actually helping inform. I'm like AI before the AI. I'm the PI. I'm the Magnum PI. I'm doing the political intelligence. I'm taking the critiques that are coming from the other parties online, and I'm absolutely using them in future messages. So feel free to give me everything you got. Conservatives, liberals, Green Party. Shout out to my comrades on the left, communists and anarchists and others. I will take your critiques and I will contemplate them and I will have to wrestle with them. If they're personal attacks or if you're just being an asshole, I got no interest in that. But everything else, thank you. I appreciate you. So with that being said, I apologize if I couldn't get off. Yo, Jamie West is in the building. Jamie, the next time I do this, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to put this. I'm going to see if I don't know. You've probably had a long day too, but I'm going to put this up. And I'm going to post this again on the Instagram just in case Jamie's still on and he wants to jump on a quick chat. I want to give my comrade that opportunity, my labor critic comrade with the ONDP, to jump on and just share what's happening. Because there's a guy who's in northern rural areas and understands what's going on with working class people up there. Shout out to him. If you're not online, Jamie, that's cool too. But in the meantime, I will be back in the mornings and at night. Parliament to the People, Election 45 edition. You're getting it live and direct, unfiltered. uncensored, unfettered, direct. This is it. This is who I am. All the time, not just some of the time. I appreciate you all for logging on. I'm not seeing Jamie jump on, so I'm going to call it a night. Peace.